Well, hi everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Here it is, the eve of Thanksgiving, and today is the feast of a very special saint in our tradition. A saint who is a wonderful model for not only for all Christians, but especially for women. And that is St. Catherine of Alexandria. St. Catherine lived in the 4th century, and she came from a patrician family in Alexandria, and she was devoted to learned study. And because of her studies, she came across Christianity. Of course, this is the 4th century, so it's a very new faith. And she was touched by Christ and decided to follow Jesus from when she discovered Christianity. And so then, around that same time, the Emperor Maxentius was persecuting the church. And so Catherine, who's 18 years old and of great beauty, it is said, she went right up to Maxentius and she rebuked him for his cruel persecutions, for his tyranny. And he was not able to convince her of his pagan gods, and he had no answer to her arguments against his pagan gods. So he assembled 50 of his philosophers to oppose her. Well, the philosophers were so impressed by Catherine's learning that they all accepted Christ and they all became Christians. So then Emperor Maxentius tried to seduce Catherine with the offer of the crown of being his consort. But she indignantly refused him for that. And so he had her beaten and then imprisoned. And then he went away to inspect a camp. While he was away, Maxentius's wife and one of his officers, curious about Catherine, went to see her in prison. And they were converted to Jesus because of Catherine's witness, along with 200 of the emperor's guards. So, as you can imagine, Maxentius wasn't pleased with all this, and that's what led to Catherine making the ultimate sacrifice and shedding her blood for Christ. Catherine is the patroness of Christian philosophers, of philosophy students, of women students, of preachers, and of apologists. So she's quite a remarkable figure of our faith. This coming Sunday, of course, we have Advent is beginning. And, you know, Advent is a very beautiful, holy, quiet, still season. In fact, I think that one of the songs we're singing at Mass on Sunday is "My Soul in Stillness Waits." And that's really what Advent is about. I think in recent decades that Catholics have forgotten about our Advent season, and they've just gone along with the rest of our pagan society, which has appropriated Christmas for its own purposes. And people celebrate Christmas during Advent. And then, right when the Christmas season begins for us, they take down all their Christmas decorations and it's back to business as usual. So I really encourage us all to really, this year, observe our calendar as Christians and not just follow the calendar of our secular commercial world. In other words, to observe Advent during Advent and try to slow down and not run around so much and prepare in our hearts for the coming of Jesus. Spend more time in prayer, read the Advent scriptures, and not celebrate Christmas during Advent. You know, it's not fitting to have Christmas parties during Advent, even though in this pandemic time, you know, we're probably not going to be having Christmas parties anyway. But Advent is not the time for that. Our calendar gives us the Christmas season beginning on Christmas Eve, and this year extending until January 10th. That's the time to go crazy and have Christmas parties. And a much better time for us too, because then we don't get caught up with all the stress and tension and anxiety that the rest of the world feels. So what does that mean as far as decorations go, putting up Christmas lights, putting up Christmas trees, things like that, go ahead and do it during December. That's all right. That's a way of preparing for Christmas, as Advent is a preparation for. The important thing is, don't take any of those decorations, those lights, those trees down until our Christmas season is over, January 10th. So if that means if you don't want to keep it up that long, put it up later so you keep it up during our Christmas season. Let's witness to our faith in this society by observing the calendar that our ancient faith has given us. So happy Thanksgiving, enjoy turkey and whatnot.